LeBron James?
Will, we will start on your end.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Hey, LeBron, Mike Trudell in LA. I believe you would have just finished your junior year in high school, 2002. Kobe and Shaq both go for 30-plus against the Nets. Game 3, the finals. You, of course, were then drafted the next year. You and AD, it's the first time Lakers teammates have done that since then. Just wondered if you were, like, your thoughts on the Kobe-Shaq dynamic and kind of what it's like going through a game like today with AD, especially at a similar level of efficiency.
You know, obviously being in high school and watching the Kobe-Shaq duo, it was the most dominant duo that I have personally seen in my life from a basketball perspective. Hadn't seen, obviously, we knew the force that Shaq brought to the table, but the elegance and force that Kobe played with as well. They were very dominant in what they did on the floor, on both sides of the floor. So to be in a conversation with those two guys, myself and Anthony, or myself and AD, he's going to kill me. Myself and AD, it's just very humbling because, I mean, I know I grew up watching those guys. I grew up admiring Kobe, obviously, for, you know, kid coming straight out of high school. So, you know, admired that kid that was young and got the opportunity, and obviously the force that Shaq played with. So just very humbling, and we're happy that we can be even mentioned with those greats.
LeBron, both AD and Frank kind of indicated that they, even though it's a win, they weren't totally happy with how things went today, defensively, especially. Frank had mentioned. Do you agree with that? And if so, what concerns you about?
No, I definitely agree. And myself, coach, and AD was not happy with our defensive presence tonight. We know we can be a lot better, and we're just from. You know, myself and AD, we're not satisfied, and with, you know, just a win. We want to be great. We want to be great. You know, as close to 48 minutes as possible. And I know I said it after game 1, but I'm extremely excited to watch the film tomorrow as well as a group and see ways we can be better. We're playing against a very dangerous team in Miami where, you know, they have 5 guys on the floor that's a threat, as they've shown tonight. So we have to continue to stay on our P's and Q's and cross our T's and dot our I's throughout the course of the game. And just, you know, if we have a breakdown, being able to cover for one another, but they do a great job of putting your defense in positions that you may not be accustomed to. So we definitely was not happy with our performance defensively tonight. And hopefully we can be, well, we know, not hopefully, we know we'll be better in game 3.
Allison?
LeBron, if you indulge me on the Kobe-Shaq line of questioning, obviously Shaq, big post presence, a 5 as much as a 5 can be, Kobe perimeter and all that. You and AD seem to have elements, maybe a bit of both of their games. I don't know if you would agree with that, but if you do, could you describe how maybe both of you are a bit of a hybrid of what those guys brought to the court?
Well, I guess if you look at the sense of the size and the power and the speed that Shaq at his size played with, you could look at my game throughout the course of my career and say that. And then you look at the elegance and the ability to shoot the ball and the ability to play in the paint as well, post up, get to the perimeter. I guess you can say that you can have some of AD's game that can compare to Kobe's game in that sense. Obviously, we're all 4 of us, we're all different positions. You know, Kobe was a natural 2 guard. I'm kind of I don't know, whatever position. Shaq is a center, and AD is kind of a hybrid as well. So, but I guess all 4 of us, we have a winning mentality, and we just try to make enough plays out on the floor throughout the course of the game that would benefit not only ourselves individually, but for the most important thing, for the better of the team. And I can't even believe that we, you know, up here talking about myself and AD with Kobe and Shaq. I mean, it's an incredible thing.
In the third quarter, you guys had an 18-point lead, and pretty close to that point,
the Heat had timeout and UD was talking to the guys and really fired up. And at that point, it seemed like there was maybe a turn in momentum and they started attacking aggressively. What do you know about UD that makes him impactful to a bench of players like that, even though he himself is not playing in the game?
Just check his resume. It's that simple. I mean, he's put in the work. He's been there. He's been through everything that the Heat franchise have seen. He's seen it all. He's done it all. I mean, just check his resume. So, and he's it's not many guys that talk about it and also be about it. He's one of them. And if you want to be in a foxhole, that's somebody you want to be in a foxhole with.
Dan?
LeBron, you used the word force probably 6 or 7 times in the first 2 answers today. How important has your team's ability to play with force made a difference in these first 2 games?
Well, I think I was talking about force because Shaq's name came up, and there's no way that you can talk about Shaq and not that word come up. From a team's perspective, I think we've done a good job of, one, not turning the ball over, but also still being able to play with force, as you would say. Play with tempo offensively, get good looks, get looks that we like, make or miss, and live with the results. Now, we have to play with that type of force defensively, but also from a cerebral side as well, from thinking the game a little bit better as they're going through their offense and their pace and their force as well. We got to be a lot better, obviously, on that side.
We'll send it back to Will for a couple.
All right, I'll take a couple more. Andy Kamenetsky.
Hey, LeBron. When you guys advanced past Denver, Frank was talking about the relationship he has with you, and he said that the buy-in that you had with him as a coach and the immediacy of that buy-in did a lot for this team and where you are right now. What was it about Frank that gave you that immediate buy-in and that you gravitated towards quickly?
For one, from a competitive standpoint, going against Frank's teams in Indiana when we had our battles when I was in Miami, you understood how well those teams were coached. And it starts, with the head coach. And the players are an extension of the head coach. So I had that memory of that, just battling those Indiana Pacer teams. And for me, I've always been a coachable player throughout my whole life. I've played for multiple coaches, and I've always been a coachable player. So, the respect, more importantly, he's the head coach, and the head coach should have the respect from all his players, no matter who you are, if you're really serious about trying to make an impact or really trying to do something special. So, it was just that simple for me personally.
Allison, back to you.
More on this end? All right, thanks, LeBron.
Appreciate it.
We were going to go to break, but Shaquille O'Neal, your name came up about 24 times. A lot of roses coming your way, Shaq. First of all, you have to be thrilled about all of those compliments, but I'm just curious, is it okay that they're already putting LeBron and AD on the list of Laker great duos, and this is their first finals?
Well, one, this is not about me. I haven't played in 10 years. I'd rather be mentioned with Kenny, yourself, Grant, and that. It's an honor to be mentioned. When I went there, I wanted to also make a name for myself. And those two guys are definitely making a name for themselves. They're dominant. They're doing what everyone in La La Land expects them to do. And they're playing great. But again, this is not about me. This is about the LA Lakers versus the Miami Heat. And look, they just went out and played. Going to the finals in 94, 95, getting embarrassed by Kenny, I always said to myself, if I make it back to the finals again, I have to dominate. Don't be nice, bully ball, elbow people, throw them out the way. And of course, I had the best player in the world on my team, but listen, we had big shoes to follow. You see Magic and Kareem, they really started the whole, Showtime thing. They paved the way. So when I first got there, Jerry West sat me down, Kenny, and he said, look, I know you want to do albums. I know you want to do movies. And he pointed up to the Raptors. He said, but if you want to be a Laker great, I need you and Kobe to step up and start winning championships. So, LeBron, thank you for mentioning my name, but it's not about me. I haven't played in 10 years. I got my stuff right here. I'm happy with this, even though I should have had 6, because we should have beat them Rockets.